Welcome back to Chapter 10 of my Fire Emblem Engage LTC run. This is another one of the least reliable maps in the run, perhaps even the single worst one. It has a very difficult boss that requires 2 crits and a dodge to kill. Moreover, there are very few ways to manipulate RNG in this map with time crystals, resulting in way more resets than other unreliable maps like Chapters 5 or 7.
Let's go.
There are 2 bosses in this map, and in order to reach both of them on the first turn, we warp 3 units into a T formation above. Alear then flies into it and casts rewarp. Without flight, she would need an extra warp to reach that position, which we need to use elsewhere. Our main combatants for this map are Citrinne and Amber again. They will essentially solo Morian and Hyacinth respectively across player and enemy phase. More surprisingly though, we're also bringing Louis along, who's been sitting on the bench, patiently waiting for his chance to shine. His role is mainly to get rid of one of the sword fighters, clearing up a path for Amber to reach and kill Hyacinth. He will also help Citrinne a bit with surviving.
Very well.
Citrinne moves up and cleanly one-rounds Morian's first life using Dire Thunder, while adjacent to Alear. Afterwards, Louis moves up and trades her over to Elfire, enabling her to kill Morian on enemy phase. Then, by using Divine Speed and break defenses, Louis is able to cleanly-ish one-round the sword fighter on the right. Assuming he doesn't miss, at least. Amber moves up to Hyacinth and crits his first health bar. He canters down afterward to deactivate his personal skill, which otherwise nerfs his avoid. This map also has one important side objective for us. Goldberry drops an energy drop when defeated, and we need as much of those as we can get. Our best option to kill her is to combine Warp Ragnarok with Dire Thunder, as Goldberry has much lower resistance than defense. We use Lapis to Warp Ragnarok, as her ability to chain attack makes her one of the higher damage dealers for this role. This combined with Celine's +2 Dire Thunder nets the kill on Goldberry. Diamant can also do this, but we already reclassed him to Sage. For these boss kills to work, Citrinne must dodge either a 60% hit from the sword fighter or a 30% hit from Morian. Then Amber must dodge a much higher 74% hit from Hyacinth, and then counterkill him with another 35% crit. Amber fails to dodge, but we do have a backup strategy available. The one method of Arna manipulation we can do is to alter Celine's position that she attacks Goldberry from. Instead of attacking from 2 down 1 left, we can alternatively attack from 1 down 2 left. This will put her in Hortensia's attack range, and she will freeze her, which advances Arn slightly because she moves earlier on enemy phase. It's also worth noting that the only reason Citrinne is able to double Morian is that Louis and the sword fighter block her adjacent tiles, forcing Morian to attack with a tomahawk, which slows him down. Finally, after countless attempts, Amber manages to dodge and counter-crit Hyacinth, achieving one of the hardest boss kills in the run and ending the map in 1 turn. Up next is Chapter 11. Due to the events of the story, all our emblem rings are gone, most notably including Micaiah. So in preparation for this map, we have amassed a congregation of staffers to warp Amber and Alear to the finish line. But first, we start off by having Louis smash this axe fighter back because he occupies a space that Citrinne wants to canter into. Afterwards, the rest of the team will begin staffing duties. This chapter includes one of the most complex warp chains in the run. The objective is to escape the map with Alear, and since this requires an action of her own, she must be warped by 3 other units to reach the ending square. We also need Amber to get rid of the archer blocking the exit, and he needs another 3 warps to reach them. But to warp chain him there, we need to warp another warper to perform the 3rd warp, resulting in a total of 7 required warps. This is partly why we deployed Lapis in Chapter 10. While other units like Clan or even Yunaka are able to perform Warp Ragnarok for that map, they are currently unable to promote. Lapis, on the other hand, can promote and reclass the Sage without any XP, using the Master Seal we just obtained from Hyacinth in the previous chapter. This makes her our 6th warper. She can also obtain Canter if we want her to, but Alear, Diamant, Citrinne, and Vander already have Canter, and I was confident I wouldn't need a 5th unit to have it. So in total we need 7 warp uses, but we only have 6 warpers, and no dancer. So where does their 7th warp come from? Our 7th warper actually joins us right now, as Amber ends his turn in the bottom section of the map by killing the archer that's blocking the exit. A new unit, Ivy, spawns adjacent to both Alear and Diamant and very conveniently has Beast Staff rank at base, enabling her to perform the final warp on Alear. This contribution marks the beginning of Ivy's total takeover as she becomes the single most important unit of the run. Alongside her is Kagetsu, an incredible physical combat unit that will also see a lot of usage, and Zelkov, who is less impressive but still relatively competent. Kagetsu sneaks in a kill before we end the map, as he aims to earn a level up before eventually reclassing out of Swordmaster. With the 7th warp, we have exhausted all our remaining warp uses to achieve this one turn clear.